Hello, everybody.
Hello.
We are waiting a few moments to go live because this event is broadcasted simultaneously on the Euromoon Mars YouTube channel and on the Instagram page of ExoSpaceHab, which are the two organizations that supported and financed this project. So a warm welcome to everybody. In the meanwhile, we are gonna mute ourselves for a few seconds while we wait other people to join.
Hello from Earth.
Hello from the moon.
Hello from the moon base. How do you do?
Yes, so I was just saying we have just started our live streaming on
Excellent.
YouTube and on the Instagram page of ExoSpaceHab. So I think we are ready to start this opening event. So hello, everybody. A short introduction. So from where we are currently, as Professor Foying, who is a CEO and president of Euromoon Mars, was just saying, we are currently broadcasting from the moon. So the event of today is basically to give you an overview of this new project that we just concluded. It's a project that was developed here in Italy with the support of two organizations. One is Euromoon Mars, which is Lunex Euromoon Mars, which is an organization specialized in analog missions. So field campaign with analog astronauts like Michele and I in this moment for terrestrial bases, which are called analog habitats, of course. And then on the other hand, I hope my connection is good. Please let me know if we have internet problems, because sometimes I get the message. All right. So as I was saying, the second organization is ExoSpaceHab, which is a European consortium with different partners, some universities and some private organizations, that is basically trying to build and develop a strong digital ecosystem to create bridges and connections between different actors and stakeholders of aerospace today in Europe in particular. So I'm Serena Crotti, and here with me I have my colleague Michele Zanchi. We are both industrial designers. We graduated at Politecnico in Milano, and we were responsible of the development of this amazing point and the two organizations I mentioned. So maybe Bernard, you would like?
Yes, so okay, welcome. I think we can hear you well from your base on the moon. So I think it's quite amazing that we can see and listen to you. And it looks very moony where you are. So I think that it's yes, it's quite amazing to see you. It was a very nice project that yeah, do you? Yes. Yes, so I'm Bernard Foin, so I am the CEO of Lunex Euromoon Mars, indeed, but also a partner into this ExoSpaceHab consortium that includes 4 universities and 2 companies, NGO. So indeed, Lunex Euromoon Mars is one of the company involved, but as well, we have collab with, so it's a very nice company that is developing collaboration methodology and experience. But we have also in ExoSpaceHab, so Venus Tech, we have International Space University, Complutense Madrid, and also Sikorsky universities in Kiev. So it's a very nice milestone, and I want also to that we appreciate that's something that you can do as member of the Euromoon Mars or ExoSpaceHab community. We had the pleasure to have Serena Crotti doing a master in architecture and internal design last year, and it was very nice work. And she was participating to some analog campaign with some of our other groups, some campaign that took place in Poland, in our MPOL, Human Mars Poland collaboration with the Analog Astronaut Training Center. She has also done some campaign in the caves, in the Astroland moon base, but also she went to the height of the International Moon Base Alliance facility in Hawaii. So clearly, after all this experience, it was time to do something also concrete to build a new facility, and that is ExoSpaceHab-X, that in a short time scale, so within less than 1 year, we defined mostly under the leadership of Serena, and it was built with the help of Michele and with all the team that we have. We had even some of our ExoSpaceHab Academy students from Dublin, and Daniel and Sean, that made a visit to Bergamo to help to set up some scientific experiments. And now we have this very interesting concept. So with a rigid module, but also a deployable inflatable unit that is very interesting from the point of view of how we would operate on the moon as well, but also with the goal that we have to train researchers, to train astronauts, and also to train entrepreneurs like we do with the ExoSpaceHab Academy. So back to you on the moon. And all our best from ground Earth control. Over.
Okay, thank you so much, Bernard. So we are trying to restore the connection from one of our devices. As you can see, we are testing a lot. In the last week, we've been testing a lot of equipment. Yeah. So we have a short presentation from the laptop, but while we try to fix the connection on the laptop, I would maybe start with a tour with the phone, and then we will have our short presentation because I think it's easier. All right. Yeah. So Michele is gonna take over and show you a bit the first room of this habitat. Yes, let's start from the outside. And this one. Maybe two.
So here we are. Oops. Now we are going to explore the outside of this this habitat. So here, as you can see, there is the inflatable. The inflatable is amazing, as you can see. Is inflatable is like a cover that can extend the space that we have in our internal habitat. So this is like an external area. Everything is inflated, and here you can see Serena. Here is the main entrance, so you can see the outer part of the habitat. Here we have a second entrance, like an emergency one. It is circular, and it is designed to be combined with another one. Now Serena will show us how it works.
Here we have a double zip. Maybe you can show mine.
Yeah.
So basically, this is the first layer of the zip, and the idea is to have a double layer so that the light coming from the sun outside is totally filtered inside, and you cannot really tell if outside is day or night because of the circadian rhythms. Then you can zip this one, and the space in between can be used, for example, if mission resupply needs to give you something extra that during the mission organization has been forgotten, or for example, some extra resources that might be finished during the mission. Of course, this is not a common practice, but in case of emergency, you can just handle stuff from the outside to the inside without having to interact with people outside the base. And then you have on the bottom another layer that allows you to go outside. So basically, during EVA simulations, the astronauts that will be wearing the EVA suits will be able to crawl inside and go outside the base from this entrance. there is another, let's say, point or strategic meaning in this door, circular door, which is this part of the habitat from outside, and we are going to show you now. Basically, works as a connector. So follow me. For the future development of this project, at the moment you only see one habitat, but we plan to have 2 habitats connected from the hatch. So the idea is that we will replicate basically the same structure, which is quite a low structure because we will say this even better later in the presentation, but this is supposed to be a sort of premium MVP. So a minimum viable product that allows us to test the formula of sharing the base with different universities and research centers, but at the moment being also quite low cost and not so expensive. Of course, in the future, we have plenty of developments that we can do and improvements to make it even more, I would say, realistic and updated. Anyway, this is the second part. And in the future, from this hatch, we can replicate the module and have 2 modules interconnected and expand basically the layout of the base. So I'm gonna just close this one. Have you already showed the outside on this side? So we can conclude the tour of the outside of the base. Here is the trailer, which is this part is not inflatable. The other one is inflatable itself. I just want to tell, like, we have plenty of micro patches that allow you to basically go outside and just evacuate in case of emergency. So everything is under control in case anything happens. Here at the moment, you can see our generator. It's like temporary because the base can be run in multiple ways, but I think we will explain the aspect of energy later of our facade. And then here we are back from where we arrived. And this is the inflatable module from the inside. So have you already explained this, Ira? Yeah, quite a lot. So one thing to say is that the inflatable and in general this project is conceived as a double use. So on one hand, it can be used for simulations, but on the other hand, it can be used really for outreach. So for example, in this room, we decided to leave an open layout that can be reconfigured in multiple ways according to the use of the base. So if you needed to use it for simulations, for example, we have some demo stuff here. You see there is enough space, for example, to do some sports. Now we have a cycle ergometer, but we might have a small treadmill in the future. So you can have sports, but also you can, for example, project on the white walls something to have a sort of crew moment or entertainment area. But also for the second use of the habitat, the module can be used for outreach. So for now, because then we will have some people later coming in person to see a bit around, we have our banners. So the idea is that maybe some workshops or activities, or I would say interactive experiences, could be organized here by ExoSpaceHab-X or ExoSpaceHab with the different partners to tell people about the importance of analog missions. And then one last thing is you can see it's quite big, I would say. These are big, but small, but big, let's say. So you can really reconfigure the space according to your needs. So you can see here we have a foldable table. This is a bit of, let's say, temporary, so you can really arrange it as you like, and every mission can be basically updated and arranged accordingly. So let's go back to the main module from the main door. So I would start with the crew quarters. When you enter inside the base, on the left you have 2 crew quarters. So the habitat can host up to 4 people, because the idea is that during the analog missions, sometimes the crew take turns to sleep. So while 2 people are sleeping, 2 others are working, and vice versa when they just take turns. But in this case, you can see the 2 sleeping quarters that we designed with Michele. So as you can see, we try to give a bit of comfort to this for astronauts that will be confined in this small base for 1 week probably. So you have privacy partition dividers that are made with a total blackout fabric that basically screens out the light from outside. So when you are inside, you can really relax and set the mood how you want. So you can see everybody can basically leave it closed or leave it open as they want. And then we also designed some pockets inside where they can store some personal goods. Of course, they are supposed to bring just the minimum they need during a simulation. So probably a backpack with a few personal stuff or just a small hygiene kit and something like that, as this is common practice in all analog missions. But the idea is that, yes, they can use one. They have one each in the crew quarters. Then we have the light. So we decided to design the lighting system for the crew quarters in a way that it could be fully customizable. Do you want to show it, Michele, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will now switch the view.
Yeah, so as you can see, each crew quarter has its own controller, and in this way, the astronaut can really customize its personal crew. So we have two different kind of light. The first one, which is called dynamic white. So as you can see, it changes from warm to cold temperature of color, and all the habitat has this functionality. So all the circadian rhythm are like we can say, we can really experiment the circadian rhythm with this artificial light changing from the sunset to the sunlight. Then the other functionality is the RGB light, customized light in his own private space, and have some personal and personal space, personal privacy, and try to experiment with color, with light, also creating some atmosphere.
Exactly, and the same features is also available in the inflatable module. So here outside, yes, maybe we can just show you quickly. So basically, the interior is fully white. Also, this is something that we decided for the rest of the habitat to leave it totally white, so that the colors of the light can really change the mood of each room. Now, maybe we should close the door there. We are just getting very confined here. Okay, of course, in this case, you see like the sun filtering through, but we have a second door outside, which is meant not just to avoid this effect. Now we left it open. But here you can see how like the inflatable changes with the different light conditions. And this can be used, for example, for the free time of the crew. Or yes. I hope our connection is still good. If not, please just tell me.
Yes, we can see and hear you well from us.
Okay,
so quite
thanks for
impressive.
feedback. Thank you. All right, so I think we can go back in the main module and show you the other areas. Okay, so yes, I will go back. So here we have a very small hygiene compartment. As I was saying before, this habitat is conceived for short-term missions, so mainly we would say maximum 1 week. So as you can see here, we have a very small water basin. Normally, they will run without water during the missions. And what they do in analog missions normally is to use some cleaning wipes to wash themselves, and also, yes, just for personal hygiene. But in general, we decided to introduce a bit of water that could be used, for example, to brush their teeth, or let's say minimum hygiene practice, so that our astronauts could be a little bit relieved from the burden of running without water for 1 week. So here we have running water. We can also be warm or cold. And then, yeah, just running water. The water tank is like 40 liters. So quite minimum. And then for drinking water, that they will rely on foldable water tanks that you don't see right now here, but will be stored in the inflatable module.
And then here we have a very small toilet, but it does its job, hopefully. Then we have the main module, which is supposed to be like the main working area of the astronauts. Now we were just setting here the scene for our live streaming connection. So I'm just going to create a bit of space so you can see how it would probably be normally. So as you can see here, we have plenty of working surfaces. You can work on your laptop. Now we have like almost 3 different positions where you can work from. You can also face directly the inflatable module, because here there are 2 openings. So you can easily handle stuff from one side to the other. Yes. And also you have plenty of storage areas. So as you can see here, we have 3 areas of storage that can be easily opened. We put some Velcro closures here because of the transportation of the module, but normally they will be open or closed according to the needs. Here we have some extra pockets, and now we just put some brochures because of the people that will be coming later, but normally you can use this surface for working, or for example, to install specific equipment that will be provided by the research center that will host the habitat itself. Then we have more storage down here. You can see now with our stuff, but you can put whatever you like. Here we have extra storage and some electric compartments. Then on the other side, we have extra shelves. On the top, I don't know if it's visible for there, you have Velcro strips that you can use to attach stuff. And here we have just a sitting area, like a sort of mini lounge, where you can, for example, study or watch your laptop or whatever, or also eat with the crew. Then down here, we have some extra storage and the water tank I was mentioning before, and the heater for the water. Then here we have a multifunctional rack, which is basically a shelf system where you can arrange different equipment. And we were visited a few months ago by students from the ExoSpaceHab Academy that helped us arranging the stuff here. You can see here a very special computer. It's a Jita computer, which we could try because Bernard said we can just drop it down and it will not break, but I'm not gonna do that because I don't want the responsibility right now. But basically, yeah, this is the working computer. You can also reconfigure the space here. All the shelves can be easily detached, and then you can, you need to rotate and then take it out. So you can arrange the stuff according to the equipment that you have. Some more plugs here, and also another plug on this side. Then talking about storage, we wanted to optimize the storage because of the small area here. We have this extra ceiling storage that you can use for mainly lightweight stuff. For example, we have the 2 other suits for the future astronauts that will join me and Michele today. And then here we have a living / kitchen module where you can have storage for the food. They will run on dehydrated food that they can easily hydrate, pouring some water inside. We have a small fridge for samples. Yeah, and then we have an extra storage for food and whatever you need to cook and stuff like that. Then we have here a monitor that you can use, for example, if you need to work to save some space, you can use the working top and look at the stuff there. And then one thing which is mainly recreational, we have a beautiful cupola view here on the top. So as you can see it now, this was mainly to give a bit of sense of relief from confinement, because being just down here can be hard because of the confinement feeling. So you can display anything, not only space scenarios as we did this time, but you can also, for example, display a beautiful view of just a terrestrial sky if you want to see that. So I think this could be everything for the tour of the base. Give us just 1 second because we need to restore our position there from the main computer. So if you have any comments or if you want to add anything, please feel free because we need a few seconds to go back there.
Okay, thank you for an amazing tour. We almost feel like we are on the moon. So yeah, and it's amazing to see also some of the creativity that you have put to solving the problem of having effective systems in a small space, very good ergonomics, habitability. So I think that clearly, I'm sure there are many volunteers to train for research or to use these facilities. So we have been joined by a number of friends from our community. So I recognize our space psychologist, Celia Avila Rauch. We have also some of our previous analog astronauts that we have locked in MPOL for 1 or 2 weeks, like Sean Moloney. We have also some our rocket scientist, Rocket, is with us, and now he's in the US. We have also a number of good collaborators and friends from Italy, I understand as well. So we have a very good community in Italy, thanks to Serena, Michele, and also we have our friend from Space Renaissance International with a strong base in Italy. So anybody has a question for our moon astronaut on ExoSpaceHab-X? Anybody? So maybe I could start while we do. So at the moment, so how is the situation for you would be able to be locked inside, and so from the safety point of view, what are the main aspects, and also for the habitability when we are going to conduct some simulation of a few days? How do you see how it could be done?
Oh yeah. So, yes, we forgot to discuss one thing which is very important in terms of safety, which is the ventilation. So that's the main thing. We try to give a very good ventilation system inside the habitat. So we will go back on our tour and show you because that's kind of important to be shown.
Mm-hmm.
I can take this one and this one. There you go. So here is what you need to know about safety and also emergency simulations.
So everything is happened here with this control panel.
Okay.
Is the main point when the crew can control everything about the habitat. So as you can see, we have 4 main controller. The first one, which is the ventilation, about the input, so the inlet air that will go inside the habitat, and 2 output, one which is general and one which is specifically positioned on the crew quarter. Each of them has its own fuse, so it can be easily repaired, and it is also indicated which one. And each of them has its own dimmer, so you can regulate the intensity. The last one, which is red, is about the lighting. Since all the light system that we described previously works with 220 volts, we also improved 12 volts lighting, which work without any power supply, but it works with the battery, which is already installed on the habitat. So simply by turning this on, as you can see, we have other light, and again it can be controlled with the dimmer. Okay. The same thing happens in the bathroom. So we have the general switch for the light and the one which works with 12 volts. So the astronauts will never be.
They will never leave.
Okay, so I think we had a little disconnect on hold from the moon. You know, sometimes it happens when the data relay satellite are occulted and so on. In the meantime, while we will unfreeze the situation, are there are there some question or some comment from our panelists that have joined us on Zoom? Anybody? Celia, you want to? So you have spent with us 1 week on the moon, but in Hawaii, International Moon-Based Alliance, ICES. So
Yeah.
what do you think of this facility? Do you see you would be ready to join there, and you think that we could do also some nice group dynamic research?
I'm for sure. I'm thinking is also the way they are thinking in human factors. No, everything is done. Everything is thoughtful, and I think it's wonderful chance for the astronauts to train there, because it's realistic. No, it's the space, the way you have to use this little space, and I think could be. I'm very curious about this, and I think it's perfect.
Mm-hmm. So, Sean, you have seen the base in an earlier version while it was still in development, and you have also been working 2 weeks in the moon base in Poland. So, are there some questions that you have about the status of the base?
First of all, I think the base looks absolutely amazing. I got to see it myself in April, and it's come a long way, and it's looking very nice. But I was wondering what the temperature is like in there. You know, like, does it get too hot or too cold sometimes?
Yes, that's a good question. Actually, we have been thinking for the lunar condition. Are very extreme. Moon condition, on the equator, you can have temperature of plus 120 degrees Celsius during the 2 weeks days, and you have minus 170 degrees during the 2 weeks night. But at the moment, in Europe, we have also a heat wave, and so for the summer, we will look at finding a way to have the summer temperature a bit more comfortable, unless we find also some analog astronauts that want to do a simulation in extreme temperature. So yes, we have also to look at a way to control the temperature within a range which is possibly more comfortable. That's a good subsystem that we have to implement for the next step. Do we have any other questions? Rock Keter, so our rocket scientist, are with us? Yes, if you, we don't hear you. Or anybody which would like to ask a question while we are trying to re-establish the connection with our astronaut on the moon? So I propose that, then we could, yes. So I see also some Giovanni Scarso. You want to introduce yourself and see what is your interest in your project? And also then I will ask Eugenia and Natalie, our panelist. Yeah, feel free to comment. Otherwise, yes, I will see. So now we have this facility that is available. So it's okay. Today we have it on the moon, but I think from the next day we try to make it available in Europe. So we have some plans to display it and make it available to some of our partner collaborators. In particular, we have a plan to bring into the beautiful city of Padova in September, where in collaboration with Professor Sofia Pavanello from the medical faculty of Padova, with whom we had a number of analog astronauts from the medical faculty that joined some of our campaign. we will plan to have it displayed in the beginning of September. And then we are planning also to show it in Paris area in October, and then in the Netherlands in November. And then we are looking also at researchers that would be interested to use the facility to bring and test some research experiment, but also do some training, do some isolation simulation, and also we want to use it for outreach. So our moon astronaut are back into connection, Serena and Michele. So in the meantime, I described a bit some of the plan for the future. We have a question also from Sean. What is the temperature in the base now, and what do you expect to have in the summer?
Yeah, so now it's quite warm. And I think we lost connection because Michele's phone was overheating because we were holding it in the hand tight. It was very, very warm. But normally we will have solutions, one for the inflatable and one for here. For here. So two different solutions. The problem is now we are using a temporary generator, which is only 1 kilowatt. So it's really the basic that is currently powering the inflatable module. So I'm gonna, the problem is that going to bring here that type of equipment. So yeah.
But today, what is the temperature in number? Is it 30 degrees or is it above, below?
I guess I cannot tell right now in this moment. I guess it's like 30 to 32 degrees. But here we are in Italy. You could see the sun outside before, so it's really warm outside. That's a problem, not only on the app.
Yeah, I am also in Central Europe now. I'm in Strasbourg, so it's 31 degrees outside. In the shadow. So I think we can manage, and I'm sure that. Okay, we could find a way to make it more comfortable for longer duration. But there are also emergency situations where the temperature can be warm in a moon base. So we have to find also a way to cope with a creative solution for ending extreme of temperature here. Yeah, very good. So you had also in the program you wanted to introduce some of the other panelists and collaborators, Serena? Okay, I think that we have freeze from the moon again. But do you, Serena, we don't hear you. So anybody else has a question for our astronauts?
Hello.
Yes. Hello, Angelina.
Hello.
Welcome. Yes.
To break the ice, I can ask a question. Usually, when there is like a mission, there are some tests that are run to test also the facility, how to increase that in case of any problem. Are there going to be some tests about improving any parts of the facility?
Yes, so we are still now in the development testing mode. Now it's just the launch event to show to the world the latest status. But clearly there will be a phase where we are going to make it fully operational. First, to do some research activities, and then also we will test it for some, isolation experiment that could be even just a few hours, verify all the operational modes, possible anomalies, and so on. And progressively, when we will make it available, for instance, for campaign, for test in September, yes, we will know a lot. But clearly now we are still in development phase. So maybe, yes, Serena and Michele, do you see Are they okay? What is the plan to make some testing and improvement in some of the operation of the facility? Yes, Serena, Michele, do you copy us?
I think the first mission should be shorter than the one could be to start with, for example, here for maybe 3 days, which is a short time, and then try to expand the time we can spend inside the base. And also we can check, not only the systems, but also the resources that we are actually using and the needs of everybody and how we can improve all the habitability issues. So I guess we should start with short-term simulations, like 2-3 days. With 4 people is also fine because we see the crew interactions and so on. And then when we run with proper simulations, with a proper mission control, which is interacting with the cameras and everything, then we can extend up to 8 days. I think this habitat should not be also used and tested for the outreach purpose. So that requires different testing. I think it's easier because there are all the needs of a mission, which are quite peculiar and spatial and demanding, let's say. But also regarding to the outreach, it would be nice to have some events that are maybe smaller at the beginning, so we can check also how the public walks inside, how they interact, the flow of the visitors and stuff like that. And then we can think of activities and also test the engagement of the people according to the different activities that we can perform. So I think a lot of testing is needed in all the scenarios of use of the habitat. And yes, but we are happy to have reached this first milestone. So everything's set at least and operational, I would say.
Thank you. Angelina, thanks for your question.
Thank you.
So Angelina, where are you from and what is your background and interest?
I am Angelina Conca. I am a student on Politecnico di Torino, and I am doing my master degree on space, and I am currently working in Germany as an aerospace engineer.
Ah, okay. So do you see any opportunity or any interest maybe in the future to bring the base either in Politecnico Torino or to bring it to Germany?
Yes, why not? Why not? It could be actually a really good experience for all the students, but also for people that work actually in the space field to have a little taste of what it's like, to also taste the things that we project, that we construct and we test in the office. So I think it could be a really, really great experience. And I really like actually how the project is and how in particular the little details have been projected. That's really good. Congratulations.
Okay, excellent. Thanks, Angelina. So yeah, for those of you that are in the neighborhood of Italy or so of Bergamo, or that would like to go there, because actually I've been visiting Bergamo, I've been visiting Serena and Michele in the past, and it's a beautiful city, but now also we have the moon base there. We could also think of a little visit that we could organize for those of you locally to see in person this moon habitat, and so we could talk about that later. So I would like to give back the role of a master of ceremony to our astronaut Serena now. And you had in the program also to engage some of the other panelists.
Yes, so let me just see who is here. I don't know, maybe I think Sean could comment something because he was here and he saw the project in the stage of development. So it would be nice to hear from you. Sean, are you with us?
Yeah, Sean asked the question about temperature, but I'm sure he has other question now. Yes.
Okay, because we were, sorry, I think we were disconnected in that time.
Yeah, I was talking earlier and I was saying how great the habitat looks, just with the TV, the beds, the power and everything. It just looks great. I would love to see it again, but that might not be for a while, but hopefully someday I'd be able to see it again. It looks amazing.
Sorry, I think we need to, can you hear us now?
Yeah, we can.
All right, sorry, because I think you were freezing. Were you asking us something?
I did ask a question about the temperature regulation. Like,
All right.
does it ever get unbearable in there? But I suppose
right.
would you ever have a cruise less than 4, or would 4 be the only type of mission would you have?
Sorry, we really have like technical problems. Oh, yes.
So you want to repeat your question, Sean?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I think now we can hear you.
Okay,
All right.
I was asking if you'd ever have crews of less than 4 people, or would you prefer to have 4 at all times?
If you would prefer to have 4 or up to 2, that's the question. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so don't hesitate to ask questions. Also, if you want to use the chat to put some of your questions, and then we can convey them to Serena and Michele or others. Look at so it's
Yes, we feel better if you can collect the questions, because we cannot hear, but we see, but we don't hear. So now we are trying to fix it.
Oh, okay. In any case, it's great to see you in action. And
all right, I'm gonna give you some more view from the outside while we are here. So you asked about safety, Bernard. As you can see, all these were designed for the emergencies. So in case of emergency, there is plenty of openings. This one has 2 openings here. Then we have one more opening here, and they are with Velcro, so everybody can escape from the inside easily, just pushing the window. Mm-hmm. And then we have extra storage here. This is just to transport stuff. You can open this, and it's extra storage for equipment. And then you have, this is storage stuff. And then you have another safety opening here, which is the main one with the hatch. Mm-hmm. And this is the other entrance. So as you can see, basically from all the sides, when you are inside, you can easily escape.
Mm-hmm. Okay, no, that's nice to see that. Good. I see a number of participants from Poly Torino. So do you want to introduce yourself and to indicate what is your interest in this moon-based project or other project? I see some numbers. Yes, please introduce. Okay, so we have a very low level of communication from the moon. So we have to see. Yeah. Okay, a comment from Celia. This could be an amazing experience. Don't miss it. Okay. I see also on our panel, Natalie. Do you want to make any comment or to ask a question? Oh, yes. So that's yes. So yeah, the communication link for voice is not very clear. Yes. So I wonder if Eugenia, do you have a better luck in communicating with us? let's check. We do a check of the quality of communication with some of our ground control mission control. So Eugenia, do you want to introduce yourself, and do you have any question? Yeah.
This is very interesting, and I hope we can do this at Politecnico di Torino, and many students of the Politecnico are linked with the link in YouTube. Also.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's explained. So, okay, so hello to all the students from Poly Torino. Thanks, Eugenia. So actually, your connection is very clear, and so I think that we could get you well. So you qualify as a good CAP communicator, the so-called capsule communicator, the one with whom we speak on Earth. And okay, so yes, welcome to all our Poly Torino. We had a beautiful event, a space exploration conference in Torino in a few weeks ago, where there were many students from Poly Torino, but also from Milano, from Padova, from Rome, but also other places from Europe. We had some ExoSpaceHab students, but also we had some from Toulouse that came, and from Bremen and so on. So if you could, yes, mention to all your peer colleagues about this facility and how we could make use of it for research training, for astronaut simulations. And also we are looking at as well as a possibility to rent these facilities in the future, even to have a bit of income from which we can pay some grants for students. So that's a bit the model we are looking at. So, good. Serena, do we have back the voice? Do you read us? Can you hear us on the moon? Oh, the voice. So let's see. So I see some from Torino. Any? Alicia, I see. Alicia, do you want to introduce yourself and ask a question? We are testing the voice, the voice quality towards the Earth now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now, what I want to advertise also that this project, this ExoSpaceHab-X, this was a really hands-on project which was led by Serena and conducted with Michele and a number of collaborators. And we wanted to show this on one hand as showing what you can do. You know, if you have project of this type as well, this is exactly what we want to support with our Your Moon Mars program, also the ExoSpaceHab Academy. So, for instance, we have a number of master research possibilities where we provide a number of topics for research, for individual research, but we try to organize collective field work. So we have this campaign that we organize in Poland called Your Moon Mars Poland, MPOL, and we have conducted until now some 18 campaign of 1 week where we can lock you in an habitat together with 4 or 5 other analog astronauts, and you can conduct experiment work under special condition where we change also the rhythm of the day and the light pattern, and in a very interdisciplinary international environment. We have also a base that is in Hawaii on the Mauna Loa volcano, where we have restarted some operations now. And so that could be a second or third step after you have done some of the simulation. And now we have this base, ExoSpaceHab-X, where you could come to the base, or we could also bring the base to your institutes and then make it available for several weeks for research training, astronaut training, also public outreach, public events, or even try to inspire to develop some business with space. Serena and Michele, do you hear us? Do we have?
Yes, we could hear now. Stay in this spot.
Excellent. Okay, so you found the good sweet spot on the moon to communicate with the Earth.
Yeah.
So you have to point your antenna in the right direction to the Earth. Huh? That's very important.
Yeah. But of course, as usual, when we tested this morning, everything was smooth. And then now that you're live, I think we are connected with too many devices because of the live streaming. So maybe that's part of it's okay.
Yeah, that's part of the lessons learned for some of our things. So we have to see how we do that. Also in the protocols, sometimes I saw that many of the panelists, they follow the nice protocol to switch off their camera. So this way they use less bandwidth. So that's maybe a nice protocol to have when we organize this type of events. And then we have to find in the future, find a sponsor. Anybody has a Starlink system it could make available to us. Actually, we just bought a Starlink system for the moon base in Hawaii now, because before we were depending on the internet from the Mauna Loa Observatory, but this was completely blocked by the recent lava flow we had last year, so we had lost the connection. So now we have our own Starlink system. So yes, indeed. Also, when we are going to have the base in a very remote area, that's also a possibility. We want to use it in some universities. We could also put it in the center of a city. So if you know a place in the center of the city where you could host our base, for 1 week, and we could make a full demo. We have done some experiment before where we have put small lunar landers in the center of The Hague or in the center of Amsterdam or in some places like this. It will be also, you could think, and we could try to organize something with you as a partner. So if you think of a city where we could show the base and you help us to discuss with the local authorities to do that, we would like to do that. So now, while we have the connection with our astronaut on the moon, so I give you back the floor, Serena and Michelle.
We are here. So yes, so I think we had prepared a presentation but I think Bernard, you explained very well, right, the goal and the reason why we developed this project. And so I cannot show it now because it's on the computer.
Okay.
No connection. So I think you already explained.
Maybe I switch off my image.
So unless there aren't any more, so we can stay a few minutes more in case you have any reach out on our ExoSpace. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Oh, we do.
So I see no more questions.
Okay. So I was mentioning some future opportunities. So clearly now we are going to present some of these results, and we are going to take part in some events at the European Lunar Symposium. So a number of us, Serena will be there. So you have the chance to meet our moon astronaut just on her way back from the moon on the 27th to the 29th of June. She will be in Padova, and she will have a special presentation on this habitat development. We'll have also a few other presenting there. So European Lunar Symposium in Padova University from 27th to 29th of June. After this, Moon Mars together with Bremen University and the DLR are organizing a field school And this will be in the beautiful island of Vulcano. So it's one of the Aeolian islands close to Stromboli. And this school will take place from 30th of June to the 9th of July. So we have some of our Human Mars Eurospace Academy participating, some 9 or 10 of them going there, joining some 40 other participants from DLR and from other places. So we also are going to report about that. We have also an opportunity to visit Etna. This will be done on the 10th of July with a subset of this group. Then
and
I want
also,
to... Yeah, yes, please.
Well, one important milestone I would say for this project is that we had one abstract with an oral presentation on this habitat accepted for the International Astronautical Congress in Baku.
Yes.
And also another one, as you were saying, Bernard, for the European Lunar Symposium just in a few days, in 10 days here in Italy. So we are now trying also to promote.
So yes, yes, indeed. So yes, we'll have some presentation about the habitat, but also the other project.
Habitat in conferences and just industry fairs so that people can get to know about this.
Excellent. Another important date will be 20th of July. You know, the Moon Village Association made a proposal to the United Nations to declare 20th of July International Moon Day. And there are all over the Earth events that will be organized to celebrate International Moon Day. So I would invite each of you from our audience, from our collaborators, if you want to do something in your city, or if you are aware of something that could be done, also inviting your friends, inviting some local public, celebrating International Moon Day. That was the anniversary of Apollo 11 landing on the moon, but also other events that took place on 20th of July. And so we will try also possibly to do an event at the habitat and also in other places to celebrate International Moon Day. And so we'll have also a mix of in-presence events all over the Earth, but also some virtual events.
I see we have a question in the chat.
Yeah.
So they are asking how long the entire project took in terms of time, starting from the design thinking phase. So basically, I think it's been quite a while since Bernard had an idea of developing a transportable base. So the very preliminary studies were in my thesis project where the design was totally different, but there we were mainly exploring the idea of a transportable module, and that was mainly last year. But then when we started specifically with the ExoSpaceHab-X project, basically, I think we started in November last year. Then from November till January, we had the design phase with the renderings and the layout analysis. And then from January until mainly today, we had the implementation and the manufacturing. I also want to mention in the developing that the inflatable was done by a company which is called Naso All'insù here in Italy. It's a local company, and I think they did a great job. So I just want to mention them because they gave us really valuable help with the inflatable module. And yes, and then the interiors, I think they took 4 months, 4 full months, more or less, with the amazing help of Michele.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure for me to work on this project. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for the opportunity, and
yes,
it's amazing.
Okay, we could think of other projects because, of course, this is one module, one habitat, but we want to build a village at some stage.
Okay.
And so, and so if you have also some other ideas of a different type of modules that you would like to develop, for instance, we were thinking also of we could have a full laboratory modules and then a greenhouse modules, and we could put that up in a village. So in November, we'll bring the module just in front of ESTEC in the Moon Mars yard that we have available with a collaborator of DECOS. And we have plenty of space there. We could also think of a second habitat. So if some of you are interested to for this challenge, think of it. We want also at some stage to duplicate the base that we have in Hawaii, the ISIS base, which is bigger, but that could be part also of a village. This one in Hawaii is more stationary. So eventually we could also look at the place where we put this base. And this the mobile base that we have now, this we want to make it available. We plan also to bring it for some campaign in the field and some campaign also at the European Astronaut Center in the future, that they are building a huge facility for testing for future lunar exploration together with the German Aerospace Center and the European Space Agency. So yes, if you have some ideas of that, we have been also discussing with a network of industry. They are called Euro to Moon. They include industry like Air Liquide, Airbus, and so on. And they want to develop really more activities in Europe about lunar exploration, using the resources. So we want also to develop some program where we could help to advance some water system, waste processing system, life support system. And this we could then join a bigger industry initiative with some of our experience and some of the research we will have conducted there. So this is really a platform we want to develop, and we want to thank yes, EuroSpaceHab that provided part of the funding support and also some of the people, and building also on the heritage of Moon Mars that we had started some 12 years ago. Good. So yes, if you want to design another type of a module, maybe a module for resource extraction or for growing plants on the moon, contact me, and we could also just add this module, for a project of the time scale of 6 months. This could be possible. Okay, excellent. So back to you, Serena and Michele.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we do.
Okay, perfect. So yes, I think this is it from our side.
Yeah. So just one thing before we leave, can we have a group picture with all our panelists and so on?
Okay, so we will go outside so you can have the habitat.
But could
let
you
us find a good spot.
Yeah.
But could we try from those that are on the Zoom? Could you put your camera so that we can show that you were there? For some of you that can make it. Okay, so you have a nice spot. Okay, so I see Angelina. Okay, Sean. Okay. Good. So, yes, Serena, we have you. So, yes, so congratulations again for all the, for Serena, Michele, and all those that have helped in the project. And looking forward to the next steps. Did we lose? Yes, we have. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. So all the best and good travel back from the moon then.
Thank you very much.
See you. So long. Goodbye.